Hey guys, welcome to BLONITY. First, my little disclaimer, this is not financial advice, my own opinion and estimates. My estimates could be completely wrong. Don't trust, always verify, understand the numbers, be aware of scammers, and you know the best how to invest your money. Please be aware that I'm invested in the most of these companies, and let's jump right into the miner comparison. So we're still in Q4. Q4 should be big, but since 2 weeks we're going sideways. So that was here 12 days ago on my last miner comparison here. This is Bitcoin chart on the weekly here. We had this nice rise here, we had this top, and since then we're consolidating. So no big change here right now. We're still at the same range here at 63,000. Yeah, and the RSI also here on the same level. That's very interesting. So you could argue that something like bull flag here is building, and yeah, Bitfarms, Bitcoin is taking a breather here and is ready for the next move up. Of course, there's no guarantee, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Ether has also a crazy rise here on the weekly since the bull run started here. It's only going up, and that's really insane. Also, the RSI here is right now at 70, so yeah, there should be a lot more room to grow. That also hurts a little bit the Bitcoin dominance, which is right now below 43%, very low. Yeah, at the stage of this bull run here right now. So it would be nice if Bitcoin can gain strength again and move above 50% or so in the Bitcoin dominance to get this healthy bull run. Yeah, but we will see. Hash rate and difficulty. Hash rate for Bitcoin, yeah, it's right now stabilizing at 160 exahash with some wicks to 180, 190, or even 200 exahash. So yeah, the China exodus is completely swallowed by the mining market, and it has moved to North America. As I'm aware of, people are talking about 35 to 50% share of the North American market here. So that's incredible. Within 6 months or so, we have a complete transition from China to North America. That's very interesting. So difficulty is only rising here. Last difficulty adjustment end of October was close to 8% plus. We're now estimating within the next 6 days an adjustment of 4 to 5%. Yeah, it makes sense. Price is rising, difficulty is rising. And plan B, our friend here, he said, okay, in his floor model, not his stock to flow model, his floor model, which is based on TA and on-chain analysis, he says 98,000 US dollars in November is still possible. We need a 60% pump, and we had this before. I'm not sure. I'm thinking more in November, something like 80,000 US dollars, and maybe in December then a big move to the upside. But who knows? I mean, everything is possible. But we have now 3 months of where he perfectly nailed it with his floor model, like the 47, 43, and 61, 63K. And these models, when they're working too perfect, they tend to break at some point, but maybe then later recover. So it was too perfect in my opinion for the last 3 months. Of course, I hope he will hit again in November with these 98,000 US dollars. But I think it's likely that it will break this month, maybe, and then people say, okay, it's not working. And yeah, then it's always the time when the models start to work again, when people don't believe in it. So yeah, let's see. Only speculation so far. The Google trends have dropped again here. Yeah, 10 days ago we were here, now we're down here again. So we're at the level here in December, same levels here when Bitcoin broke the all-time high of 20,000 US dollars, the long all-time high. So we're at the same level. So it would be nice to break now the last all-time high of 67,000 US dollars significantly and stay above it, and yeah, also move in the Google trends here up. Also, gold is very interesting in my opinion for thinking about what I'm going to do after the bull run. Maybe you want to go a little bit into cash, so that's what I'm planning here. I will not hold all the mining stocks due to the bear market. Gold is now forming this huge 10-year cup and handle pattern here. And it looks ready here to break out and to move higher with all the inflation fears and so on. it makes a whole lot of sense that gold moves up. And yeah, I think we will get at some point in the next 6 months or so a top for Bitcoin, hopefully a blow off top, and yeah, then it crashes. We will get the bear market, which means huge opportunities for the smart people to buy cheap again in maybe 2 years or so. But there will be other assets they will appreciate in that time, and I think gold could be one of these, because people will say, okay, Bitcoin is dead again, it was a bubble, and yeah, gold is the only safe haven. So I think gold could be very interesting in the future, not to go 10x or something like this, but maybe to park some money there. Let's see. Okay, so let's go into the miner comparison. We have the operational excellence here. The mining profitability per day per terahash is right now 36 cents per day. So we're dropping here again. We have this triple top here right now, so we don't want here this top here establishing at these levels. We want to see it now move up again, like it did in the last bull run in 2017, 1 2 3, sorry. And yeah, I mean, the difficulty is rising, so if the price stays stable, the mining profitability will go lower, and we don't want to see this here happen. So we need now a significant price pump to get the mining profitability up here, make a new high here for this bull run, and I think that would mean continuation. So yeah, Bitcoin looks ready to make a big move, hopefully to the upside, and then this could happen very fast. If we go to 80,000 or so, we would be at mining profitability of, yeah, very fast at 50 cents per day per terahash. Okay, let's compare the miners. Again, I have these 8 miners. You know, there's other miners I'm tracking right now, but I don't feel safe to put all these numbers in here, because sometimes I have no merger there or no financials because they haven't merged and so on. So I think I will continue doing this here, and when I feel confident, when I have all the information, I will put the others in here. So we have Hive Blockchain now. The revenue is now approximately 800,000 a day, with like 500,000 Bitcoin and 300,000 Ethereum mining. So Hive is now predominantly a Bitcoin miner, and yeah, it tracks, it sometimes follows the Ether price, but it's now more a Bitcoin miner. And I really like this, because we know that Ethereum moves to proof of stake at some point. We don't know when this happens, but there's always the fear. And yeah, I like that they now have 1.2 exahash, or maybe now even more. And the gross mining margin here should be above 600,000 right now in the last 10 days. So this is the 10-day moving average, the 30-day moving average, and the 90-day with all my estimations here. So the number here goes up. We can see in the short term it made more money than in the longer term, and that's great. We have an uptrend here. For HUD, it's stable here at these levels. So it would be good for HUD to get some new hash rate online. We are still waiting for 100% GPUs there. I think, in the last update it told us we have 25% online. So maybe they're installing now the last 75%. They told us they will have it in November. So really hoping for this to get these numbers here up, because Ether mining with these new GPUs is very efficient, like 90-95% gross mining margin. That would help HUD here to get a big move here. Then Bitfarms is also rising. They installed more hash rate. They are now at 1.8 exahash. That's huge. Argo Blockchain also installing a little bit more hash rate, but the overall monthly output was not that big in the last few months, so it's stable here. So they really need this hash rate to get these 1.6, 1.7 exahash. They said, they will install the most of them in November now. So an update would be great here. Hopefully we get this next week also for the October numbers. It's also missing for Hive and HUD, by the way. We only have it for Bitfarms, Mara, and Riot so far. Then we have Mara. Mara has, with Riot, something like close to 3 exahash right now, maybe even more. But the October numbers, they were good, but with the hash rate they have, they should have mined more. So I reduced it here a little bit. So the gross mining margin is now at 700,000 here on the 10-day moving average. So all these numbers here are very conservative. It could be higher for sure. The revenue is right now at 1 million for Mara. So yeah, the gross mining margin could also be at 80 or 850 thousand US dollars for sure. For DigiHost, it's still low, but it will grow because they have now hash rate. They increased the hash rate to 350 petahash from the 200, so that's very nice. Also, DMG has something like 330. Maybe this picture is wrong. This should be higher here, the 10-day, by the way. So, and yeah, Riot is here now the number one. It surpassed Mara because they mined 464 Bitcoin in October and Mara only 417. And that was in the last 2 months too, that Riot outperformed them. So I think it makes sense to put them a little bit higher here. Yeah, so Riot on the operational excellence here. Great stuff what they're doing. Yeah, so I have them both here at 2.8 exahash. Yeah, I think officially the number is from Mara, sometimes a little bit higher than Riot, but it changes, I think, every day. And it is fair to put them the same because Riot is mining more Bitcoin, even if they have lower hash rate. But the revenue per day is approximately 1 million right now. They mine 16 Bitcoins. Yeah, the market cap for Mara is the double of Riot, so that's very interesting. And the mining cap per daily revenue multiplied with 365 days. Yeah, we can see when we have these multiple here, for Mara it's 17, for Riot it's 8. Then we have Hive, yeah, with like 800,000 revenue a day. Market cap is 1.7 billion, so also very cheap here. Bitfarms, 2. They have now 1.8 exahash, yeah, 650,000 US dollars in daily revenue. Hut 8 mining here with 520,000 US dollars a day. Argo 420,000. DigiHost on the rise here with these 350 petahash, 127,000 US dollars. So they're mining now 2 Bitcoin a day. And also DMG with 120,000 US dollars and close to 2 Bitcoin a day and a very low market cap. So yeah, this also fits to my BMXI, where DMG is since a while the most undervalued, but I hope they will not be forever because yeah, at some point there needs something to happen. We have no communication so far. I think the last news were 24 days ago or so. It feels like there's nothing going on, but I was talking to Sheldon Bennett, the CEO of DMG, on Friday. I did an interview. I posted this on Patreon, and yeah, I will release this on YouTube in the upcoming days, I guess. And yeah, he promised that they will give out these operational updates and all these things. I really tried to push him in this direction. Yeah, we will see what happens here. So what we can see here is, of course, the two small caps, DigiHost and DMG, seem here, yeah, very low multiple here from the market cap by revenue. Mara and Hut, they seem a little bit higher here, so people are willing to pay a premium here for these guys. Then we have Riot. And yeah, I mean, Mara seems always in my models a little bit overvalued, but one guy on Twitter said, yeah, Mara established himself as the number one miner, as the biggest, the most aggressive, and so on. And yeah, people are really believing in this. And that's why it makes sense that it has the highest market cap and that our people are willing to pay a premium for this because, yeah, it's the number one right now. And so I think that's the reason why it always is the number one here. Okay, so let's move on. We have the operational excellence here, this first indicator, which combines the 10-day moving average of the daily gross mining margin, the 30-day and the 90-day. Yeah, and the very interesting thing here is, first of all, we have core here, number one here, but I don't have it here in this list because I'm not sure about it, but it could be that they have 3, 4 or even more exahash right now. I checked their presentation and so on. I think they say they have 11 exahash online, but the big part is hosting, or 13, 11 or 13. And yeah, I think the goal for self-mining this year is like 6 exahash or so at the end of the year. So they could be very high, but I could be completely wrong here. This is only speculation. So let's focus on the things we know. Yeah, Riot surpassed Mara here on the operational excellence because they're mining with the same, more or less the same hash rate. They're mining more Bitcoin. So Mara here is number 2, Hive number 3. So that's very interesting. After month and month of Mara number 1, we have now Riot number 1. Then we have Hive, Bitfarms, Argo, Hut8, DMG Blockchain, and DigiHost. We have also Greenwich here, which should be on the same level here as Argo and Hut on the operational excellence side. Again, with not a lot of information. We have CleanSpark here, a little bit lower, but they could be also on the same level. And yeah, that's what we can see here. We have the HODL excellence, which is more or less the Bitcoins they hold multiplied by the Bitcoin price. This stuff here doesn't play a big role right now anymore in this formula. This was when they had huge debt at the beginning of the bull run since then, and they had all these BTC in collateral. But yeah, that's not the case anymore for most of them. So on HODL, Mara is clearly the number one. They have like 7,400 Bitcoin on the balance sheet, or 7,500 right now. Hut should be close to 5,000. Riot is above 4,000 now. Hive should be with Ethereum, with the Ethereum and Bitcoin, all in Bitcoin equivalent, should be above 3,000, maybe 3,100, 3,200 BTC. Bitfarms here at I think 2,600 or so. Argo, yeah, close to 2,000 now. DigiHost, like, yeah, should be 500 approximately now, and DMG with like more than 300, 350. Then the strategic excellence is my indicator, which tries to look into the future, like 180 days, but the focus more on the 30 and the 90 days. There are a lot of variables in there, like the Bitcoin price, and I adjusted my model with the Plan B floor model. So right now I have 135,000 US dollars in December as a peak. And then it goes down slightly, like it would be in a bear market. So you could argue this is conservative, because a lot of people think we could go to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. And I personally think 200,000 is still my goal. But I want to be a little bit conservative here. And that's why I adjusted this with the floor model here. And yeah, we have Mara here number one, because they have the most HODL, the highest hash rate, and so on, disclosed hash rate. Riot number 2, Core should be at the same level here. Hive number 3, Hut number 4, Bitfarms number 5, Argo number 6, DMG number 7, and DigiHost number 8. Yeah, let's jump back to the HODL. What I want to say here, what is interesting, we can see at these lines here that Riot comes closer to Hut here in the last few weeks, because they're producing so many Bitcoin. And we can see this also for other miners when they're coming close together, that it's very interesting. Okay, so now let's jump to the BMX, which is my first big indicator for the absolute peer comparison. We have here, so these numbers are all a little bit reduced, because again, I adjusted the model, the Bitcoin price from 200,000 to 135,000. But for all the same, so it's all a little bit down here. Mara here is number 1, Riot number 2. For Riot, yeah, I increased my Riot position in the last few days and weeks. It's now close to 10% of my portfolio. I was not big in Riot before, but I think it's now very undervalued. First of all, I think the price was suppressed because Northern Data, I think they sold 300 million US dollar shares of Riot to finance their miner acquisition they had. Then we had this Riot ATM of 600 million, which they tell us in November where they are right now with this 600 million. So people are afraid of dilution and so on. On the other side, they're building a 700 megawatt facility with 200 megawatt immersion cooling and so on. They could have at the end of next year something like 10 exahash. So they have disclosed like 8.6, but with immersion, maybe they will go higher to maybe 10 exahash. So that's huge. And they have this hosting business of 200 megawatts with institutional clients there, which is not part in my model right now. So I could change my model now, but I think I will ride this model till the end of the bull run, and we'll see what worked, what didn't work, and then I will build new models in the bear market for the next bull run. So I will not change the model every day. Of course, I change the variables like hash rate and price and so on, that's for sure. But I'm not the complete input here. But yeah, these 200 megawatt in hosting, I mean, if you calculate like 5 cents per kilowatt hour they could get maybe. I mean, they have profit sharing agreements and so on. But I think that the yearly revenue could be 80 to 100 million only from hosting these 200 megawatts with like 5 to 6 cents per hosting, per kilowatt hour for a hosting client. And if we have this crazy bull run and they have profit sharing agreements, as they say, that could mean that it could be higher for Riot. Of course, in the bear market, it could be lower then. When there is no profit, you cannot share something. But I think 100 million is a number you can add on these Bitcoin mining, self-mining stuff. And this could also support the own Bitcoin hodl. So that's what I really like for Riot, because I missed the train with Mara this time. And for Riot, I don't want to miss it because I think it's a huge thing what they're building there. But yeah, let's move on. So Riot is number 2 here. HUD, of course, number 3. We have Hive number 4, Bitfarms number 5, Argo number 6, DMG number 7, and DigiHost here number 8. We have also the other guys here with Any. We're waiting here for the merger. We have Greenwich, which is down here. We have Core Scientific, which could be a lot higher here when we get all the numbers. And we have CleanSpark, which is performing very nice recently. Yeah, then let's go to the BMXI, which is the BMX divided by the market cap. Again, this indicator should show us which one is the most undervalued. That does not say that the price will pump tomorrow, but I made good moves with this support of these numbers, but always you have to wait a while for everything to play out. So we have the large caps here with above $2 billion US. We have HUD 8 here, number 1, very close here. Riot now. Again, without all the big hosting business, I think with the hosting business, they would be at least at the same level as HUD right now. And we have Mara. Mara is very low here because they have huge stock price increase in the last few weeks. So I'm happy for all the big Mara investors. It could be that Mara continues to outperform the others. That's possible. But based on the numbers, I think there are some others they are more undervalued. Let's go to the mid caps between 500 million and 2 billion. Now I think last time it was Bitfarms the most undervalued. I increased my Bitfarms position and it played out so far, but it's now dropping. Why? Because the price has gone very high, or not very high. It could go a lot higher, but appreciated a lot more than Argo because Argo is still at the same level. So Argo is now the number 1 here of the undervalued mid caps. Then we have Bitfarms number 2, still undervalued. We have Hive number 3. So Hive is now, I think, market cap at 1.7 billion. So Hive is now looking for, am I a large cap or a mid cap? So Hive could be the next one to enter the large cap thing above 2 billion. And that could mean that the BMXI here continues to drop and follows HUD here down here. And the investors are willing to pay a little bit more premium for the stock in terms of compared it to hash rate and so on, because say, okay, it's a large cap, I feel safer, they can raise cheaper capital and so on and so forth. The only thing I was thinking, okay, what is missing right now for Hive to outperform all the others? When I look to Riot, for example, right now they have this 700 megawatt facility potential. So they have right now 300 and they will add 400. So that's a huge potential for expansion. For Hive, yes, they have this New Brunswick facility with 70 megawatts, I think right now. Maybe they can build it to 100. But what I want to see in the upcoming month for Hive, in addition, is something like an even bigger expansion plan, for example, going to Texas for 200, 300 megawatts or somewhere else. Or I think that's maybe the only missing part for Hive Blockchain, because they're so profitable. They're mining Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're well diversified. They're going into other plays like staking investments and so on. So on the mining side, I think that's the only missing part right now to let Hive explode like crazy. But I think Hive could explode even without this right now, because the numbers are so good for what they're producing right now. Okay, so now let's go to the small caps. Okay, so we have now DMG as the most undervalued. So DMG really did nothing in the last few weeks. It was only dropping. So the question is, will it always be undervalued and will underperform the whole bull market? So what are the reasons? I think one reason is that they're not communicating in the last few weeks. So I think the last one was a few weeks ago. That could be a reason. Another reason could be that someone wants the price very low to acquire or something like this. So there could be many reasons. The market cap is now a little bit above 100 million or so. I mean, I think alone the Bitcoin holdings and the cash is at 40 million or so. Then they have 8,000 miners bought. So, I mean, the market cap is a joke right now. But, I don't know what they're doing right now. I was talking to Sheldon again. So I know that they're doing something, but yeah, we will see what the stock is doing. I think I will follow the model here again, and if I can take some profits here, I mean I took a lot of profits from HUD, moved a lot into Bitfarms, for example, also into Argo. So Bitfarms played also in Hive. Bitfarms and Hive are playing out so far, Argo not. So maybe I will take a few profits then and move bigger into DMG blockchain. Let's see, or maybe not. Then we have DigiHost. DigiHost, it looks like they're making good moves. They have these share consolidation from 3 to 1. So there was no drop after. It was rising since then, the price. That means the BMXI is dropping. They're increasing hash rate now to 350 petahash. They want to be soon at 500 petahash in this month. They're building this expansion facility there in Tonawanda in upstate New York. And I think the Nasdaq listing could be not so far away, because when you do this share consolidation thing or reverse split or however you call it, I think that should be the last step. I think all the other parts should be done before you do this, because when Nasdaq says no, you will not go to Nasdaq, you don't need to do this reverse split. So maybe we'll see it in the next few weeks, the Nasdaq uplisting. But remember, guys, for all these guys here, after the Nasdaq listing, they dropped. But that was maybe also a different market. So let's see. Okay, so from these new guys here, CleanSpark looks like the most undervalued still. We have some nice price appreciation here in the last few weeks. And maybe this will continue. Also, Greenwich made a move into the right direction. Also Core is moving up, and Sphere 3D Any is right now going sideways. People are waiting for the merger, I guess. So it would be good to get some news here. Let's see the market caps. Hive 1.7 billion. HUD 2.4 billion. Bitfarms now approximately the half of HUD. So I think there should be some more upside here. Argo 800 million. So they're building this huge facility there in Texas. At some point they will also explode, but the question is when. Mara 6.4 billion, so that's absolutely huge. So we will soon be at 10 billion. The first 10 billion miner could be a Mara. Then DigiHost 180 million. DMG 138 million. Riot 3 billion. Any 1.1 billion here after the merger. Gree 1 billion approximately, Core something like 6.2, and CleanSpark 710 million. Let's move on. Okay, guys, the volatility continues. Some miners are rising, some are dropping. It's a crazy market. To succeed, you need a lot of know-how and nerves of steel. I think you already know this right now. HUD was a good example. In summer, dropped to $3 or so. We're now at $15. So that was a good example. So quote of the day is, the greatest threat to freedom is the absence of criticism. I think this is very true right now in these crazy times we're living. Okay, so the X since December 2020, so that was mid of December. So we have a new number one here, and that is Bitfarms. Bitfarms outperformed now Argo. Argo was a long time, and here number one, we had 25x or so, but it's now dropping. Or it's stabilizing here with 13.5x. And Bitfarms is now the number one. these four here more or less on the same level here: Hut, Argo, Mara, and Bitfarms. Hive is still down here. Again, Hive front run the other a little bit, so they had a higher level to start. But I think from this metric here, Hive has a huge upside potential. Yeah, I don't know what Hive is waiting for, but at some point they should explode. Maybe now after Bitfarms, I think it would be nice. DigiHost is on the rise here. We're now at 8x. DMG not, and also Riot not. Also very bullish on Riot right now. Maybe they'll need a little bit longer, but I'm increasing my positions here also in DMG. Okay, my portfolio right now looks like this. So Bitfarms has now appreciated to my biggest position. Yeah, it was already one of the biggest, and it's now the biggest. But I will let it run a little bit because it has some catch up to do with Hut. Yeah, and then I will do a rebalancing again and look into the undervalued, like DMG, for example, Riot. Maybe Hut is going to be in 1 month or so undervalued again, and then I will increase my position again. You know, I love Hut. It's one of these very special stocks for me because, yeah, it was not easy, and then we had this nice move up, and I have a very good connection to the team there. They're very, very communicating. They like to communicate with me, and I really like this. Also with some other miners. I have now a connection with Riot Blockchain, which is also great. You know, Argo Blockchain, I like a lot. Bitfarms, of course, too. I will talk to Ben Gagnon, the chief mining officer, which is running the miners so hot. Like it looks like they're running at 110% or so because they're mining so many Bitcoin. And of course, Hive with Frank Holmes, always great to talk to him. Yeah, maybe I will try to build a connection here to Mara. I think that would be important too, to get a better connection here. Also, I have a good connection to DMG and Sheldon Bennett. Yeah, I have not really a connection to DigiHost. That's a little bit sad. Yeah, they're not answering my emails so far. So it would be nice to get some talk here, the interview and so on. Maybe a little bit later. So I think I have to focus now to get connections here to Mara and DigiHost. And yeah, I think that's very important for me here to build these relationships. Yeah, and of course, it's always important to still have fun here. I mean, if you join me on Patreon, I'm writing some posts there and so on. Nothing outstanding right now. I will improve this soon. But the big advantage here is the Discord channel there, which you can enter there if you enter the level 1. And yeah, there are a lot of mining OGs now in there. They're investing like me since a year, or some since 3 months or so. And the OGs, they help the new ones and they discuss it. I get a lot of information there on the Discord because we have these different rooms for each miner. And yeah, this is a great thing. I'm really glad that I started this. Yeah, and maybe you're asking right now, why he's not doing a video every day and so on. First of all, I have to say, yeah, it's more or less everything said. I mean, I'm not an entertainer. I learned this when it all went down in the last few months. I don't want to be the guy who is out there every day and entertains the people and motivates the people. That's just not me. I'm an investor. I'm a businessman. I'm an analyst, but not the entertainer. Some guys like CryptoZaras, I have huge respect for him. He's always out there every day, 2 times. He puts the message out, whether Bitcoin is at 60 or 30,000. Huge respect to do this. But this is very, very exhausting and very hard. And I think, you don't need it because sometimes it's better you walk away, you made your decision, and then you wait for it. And what I'm doing, I do also other stuff. First of all, I built my self-designed, self-built barrel sauna here, which is right now running. That was an important project for me in the last few weeks. It's also ESG compliant, I would say, because the electricity is more or less from renewables, from solar power on my roof. And yeah, when you can also buy barrel saunas, but they only have one layer of wood here. And I have a layer of wood, then I have steam barrier in there, then I have like 5 centimeters insulation, another steam barrier, and another layer of wood, and I have a roof on it. So it's 6 layers, and it's really good to keep the heat inside. And yeah, I would say it's an ESG compliant barrel sauna. So it's always what I want to say. It's always good to work also with the hands, to do not only charts and things like these numbers. So do something which makes also fun. Yeah, and I'm also starting a company in the next few days. On the 15th November, I prepared everything for my company, which is called Block Forest. Of course, it's a hint to Black Forest, but it's called Block Forest. And I will put all the BLONITY stuff in there. I will also have merch in the upcoming weeks and months. I really hope that the bull run will go crazy, and you guys make a lot of money with the stocks there, and hopefully you buy a BLONITY pullover or something like this. And if not, it's also okay. And I will have the Block Forest Consulting in there, where I try to get these mining companies and the power producers together, because I have now the connections to the miners, and I have connections into the energy market, and I think that could be very interesting if Europe or the EU or these guys don't ban Bitcoin mining, because there are discussions again in Sweden and so on. So I really don't like this, but I think maybe they are that stupid, but I don't hope so. Yeah, and then I will have this block forward investment part, where I think in the next bear market, which I think will happen, where I will try to buy, to make cheap investments there into mining companies, into mining hardware and things like this. So I'm preparing a strategy for this. So yeah, I'm busy so far. Of course, I have the Patreon, the Twitter, and so on. And I'm preparing for a triathlon. I started to make sports again. Big. I want to do a middle distance triathlon next year, which is also an important goal for me, because healthy mind, healthy body, I think that's both very important. That's what I'm doing right now. So I really hope you like the miner comparison this time. I'm also preparing new price targets for Bitcoin at $135,000. So you can say that's the more conservative, but I don't have it completed. So I will post it on Patreon first, and then I will make a YouTube video for you guys. And let's see where this bull run is going. But I think we will need a Bitcoin move very soon. We see a Bitcoin move very soon, a big one, hopefully to the upside, to the 80,000. Okay, guys, thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.